the affairs of our city. As we do so, we ask for your guidance and understanding. We pray that our city reaches a place of peace and safety. Keep us out of harm's way and bless those who are in authority. Let respect be key in all our endeavors. Amen.
Amen. At this time, we will recite the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, please call the roll. WITN, your mic is on. Clerk, please call for the roll.
Councilman White,
Present.
Councilwoman Darby, Councilwoman Oliver,
Present.
Councilwoman Harlee,
Present.
Councilwoman Fields,
Present.
Councilwoman McCoy,
Here.
Councilman Johnson, Councilman Field,
Present.
Councilwoman Cabrera,
Here.
Councilman Mills,
Present.
Councilman Spadola,
Present.
Councilwoman Bracy,
Present.
President Congo.
Here.
11 present, 2 absent.
I would like to acknowledge former Councilman Junior Ortega, who was with us this evening. Thank you for joining us. At this time, we will have the reading of the minutes from our previous meeting.
September 19, 2024, City Council met in regular session with remote participation on the above date at 6:33 p.m. President Ernest M. Congo II presiding. The opening prayer was done by Kara Granardo, Deputy City Clerk.
I move the committee report be received, recorded, and filed.
Second.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second. The committee report be received. Excuse me, be accepted as written. Excuse me, on the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. The minutes, not the committee report.
Oh, my mistake.
Apologize.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Would you like me to repeat it?
Fine, thank you.
At this time, we will have our committee reports.
September 18, 2024, present members of City Council, City of Wilmington, ladies and gentlemen, we, your Public Safety Committee, met by anchor location and remote participation to us refer ordinance number 24041 entitled, an ordinance to amend Chapter 4 of the City Code implementing stricter security and safety standards for firearms retail stores. I've given this ordinance careful study and recommend council vote on it accordingly. Respectfully submitted, those members present, Councilwoman McCoy, Councilwoman Oliver, Councilwoman Darby, Councilman Johnson, Councilman Mills, President Congo, absent with leave, Councilman Spadola.
I move the committee report be received, recorded, and filed.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second. The committee report be received, recorded, and filed on the question. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carried.
September 18, 2024, we, your Public Safety Committee, met by anchor location remote participation to and was referred ordinance number 24042 entitled, an ordinance to amend Chapter 36 of the City Code to prohibit firearms, components of firearms, ammunition, or explosives from city buildings and police stations. I've given this ordinance careful study and recommend council vote on it accordingly. Respectfully submitted, those members present, Councilwoman McCoy, Councilwoman Oliver, Councilwoman Darby, Councilman Johnson, Councilman Mills, President Congo, absent with leave, Councilman Spadola.
I move the committee report be received, recorded, and filed.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second. The committee report be received, recorded, and filed on the question. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. At this time, we will have our city treasurer's report.
October 3rd, 2024, total investment $529,728,445.11. Total cash on hand $13,047,924.52. Grand total $542,776,369.63. Submitted by Alfred Lance, Deputy City Treasurer. Deputy Treasurer, sorry.
Mr. President, I move the treasurer's report be received, recorded, and filed.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second. The report be received, recorded, and filed on the question. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. I'll accept the motion to move to accept all non-legislative business.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
It's been properly moved in second
Second.
to accept all non-legislative business on the question. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. At this time, we will move to our recognition resolutions. Councilmember Cabrera.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to ask Jocelyn to come to the front, and anyone who would like to join her. Jocelyn Rodriguez. You might as well all come. Jocelyn is someone that we're recognizing during Hispanic Heritage Month. Come closer. For the work that she has done starting as a youngster, as a young person, the time that she has volunteered, that she has given back in the career and everything that she's doing now. We're so proud of her. She's an example of someone who has been trying to shape the future together by being so inclusive, working with the youth at the LACC. She started there as a summer youth employee, and her journey has taken her abroad. She's gone to, well, not abroad, but across our United States. And yeah, abroad, she was teaching English in Europe. So she has done a lot, and you'll hear about that in the resolution, so I don't want to be redundant. Whereas it is the sense of City Council to honor individuals, organizations, and occasions that exemplify outstanding achievement and are deserving of recognition and acknowledgement. Councilmember Maria Cabrera is honored to present this resolution in recognition of National Hispanic Heritage Month and the integral roles of the Latin American community in our city and beyond. This year's theme is Pioneers of Change, Shaping the Future Together. It honors the significant achievements and Hispanic trailblazers who have shaped the past, present, and future of this nation. Whereas since 1986, Hispanic Heritage Week has been celebrated annually to pay homage to the Latinos who have shaped the United States and tribute to their ancestors who migrated from Mexico, Spain, the Caribbean, and South and Central America. In 1988, the observance was expanded to a month-long recognition of Hispanic Americans' outstanding contributions to American life through colorful culture, rich history, and diversity. Whereas the Council of City of Wilmington is pleased to recognize Jocelyn Rodriguez as a pioneer of change. An educator, entrepreneur, and community advocate, Jocelyn began her career at the Latin American Community Center, where she worked as a summer youth employee. She went on to work at the LACC for several years, learning the functions of the nonprofit organization and eventually accepting a position as Delaware's public ally. Jocelyn's next step in her journey took her to Colorado, where she began working as an educator in an alternative school setting. After working in Colorado, Jocelyn moved to Europe and began teaching English in the south of Spain. And whereas upon her return home, Jocelyn combined two of her passions, international education and travel. She accepted a position as an international director for a United States-based travel program for youth, where she worked with over 400 students from around the world, facilitating programs in Costa Rica, France, Italy, Guatemala, and the Dominican Republic. Whereas, in addition to Jocelyn's passion for educational and international experiences, she has always loved the game of basketball. Jocelyn led St. Elizabeth's High School basketball team to a state championship where she earned a 4-year scholarship to Wilmington University. She also served as team captain. Jocelyn went on to start Play with Passion, a basketball training program that sponsors students in St. Lucia and Spain and facilitates local affordable training resources for youth in Wilmington and throughout Delaware. Jocelyn is currently the assistant women's basketball coach at Wilmington University and is working to attain her master's degree. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Council of the City of Wilmington that this legislative body recognizes and celebrates National Hispanic Heritage Month from September 15th, 2024 through October 15th, 2024, and commends Jocelyn Rodriguez for her invaluable contributions to the City of Wilmington and beyond. Job well done.
No, I want to thank you all. Thank you, Maria, for reaching out and for the opportunity to be here. I think oftentimes not a lot of us know what goes on in our community, from future endeavors to career endeavors and things like that. The work that I do is really important, where I could have lived anywhere in the world and part of my experiences, and I keep coming back to this beautiful city for a reason. There's so many bridges that need to be built to have access to these opportunities. That's why I've chosen to work in international education and building bridges to attain scholarships for youth in Wilmington. I work in an alternative setting right now where I run an admissions department for a school called Eagle Rock School in Colorado. And we essentially work towards finding young people across the country that have dropped out of school and need a different setting. So we have the resources to make sure that these students attain their high school diploma. So I plug that in to say, within our community, even if the work isn't directly being done, there are bridges being built, and I want to be a bridge for anyone in this space that knows young people that are looking to attain their high school diploma and get re-engaged in school, folks that are looking to travel internationally when we might not have had those resources. I didn't grow up with having access to these things, and that's why it's important that, you know, the experiences that I have, I always bring back to Wilmington, from Start and Play with Passion to partnering with different organizations, both domestically and abroad. So just for you all to know, it exists, for young people to know it exists, and it's right here near all of us in this room. So thank you for the time today.
Council Member Oliver, I think she has her hand raised. Did you want?
Yes, I just like to congratulate her. I've seen her before to LLC. This was a long time ago, a while ago, but congratulations and keep up the good work.
Thank you.
So that's very impressive, Ms. Jocelyn. Thank you for coming home and giving back to the community here. And speaking of the community here, most recently I was traveling on 5th Street, and I'm always amazed by what I see in the 1000 block of 5th Street. I know that we get a request for funding early in the spring from our former council member to help with some of the supplies for the beautification of that block. But to go there and actually walk, to see the benches, to see how they decorate everything, how they, every morning, they're out there cleaning, sweeping, and just really making it look like a beautiful, beautiful block in our city. And I feel strongly that when neighbors come together and they take care of their block one by one, this is how we make our city better. Crime goes down, people are vigilant, and it's such a beautiful, homey block to go. And it's an explosion of colors, which is what we Puerto Ricans like, lots of colors. Our Latinos, we love our colors. And I would like to mention, I'm going to read the resolution. The members of the Beautification Committee members, unfortunately, we had some that were sick and were not able to make it here today, and another one could not get off from work. But former Councilman Ortega, his wife Udi is here to represent the block. This is something that he had started back in the day. He does not even put himself down as part of the committee, but I know that he is. Herman Charles, Enrique Balcazar, Carmen Cruzalta, Aurea Ortega, Carmen Santiago, Norma Morales, Mary Morales, and Edwina Diaz are members of that community. Whereas Councilmember Cabrera is honored to present this resolution in recognition of National Hispanic Heritage Month and the integral roles of the Latin American community in our city and beyond, this year's theme is Pioneers of Change, Shaping the Future Together. It honors the significant achievements and Hispanic trailblazers who have shaped the past, present, and future of this nation. I'm going to come down to the paragraph where we talk about you, since we've already repeated this previously. Whereas Hispanic Americans are the largest minority group in America, National Hispanic Heritage Month, an occasion where history and accomplishments are commemorated through concerts, parade, food fairs, and more. Each year, September 15th marks the first day of National Hispanic Heritage Month in honor of the anniversaries of independence for Latin American countries, including Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, and Nicaragua. Whereas the Council of the City of Wilmington is pleased to observe National Hispanic Heritage Month and recognize our pioneers of change, which include Alaysia Dominguez of the Latin American Community Center, Erika Gutiérrez, community activist of La Colectiva, Worship Ministry, Luceros de Alba, and the 1000 Block Beautification Committee that began their work in the 1990s with one goal in mind, to beautify their neighborhood, one block at a time. The initiative quickly spread throughout the 5th District. The committee cleaned and organized several blocks, planted flowers, installed benches, and previously hosted block parties to bring the community together. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the City of Wilmington that this legislative body recognizes the celebration of National Hispanic Heritage Month and commends the dedicated members of the 1,000 Block Beautification Committee for their contributions to the City of Wilmington. Job well done.
Mr. President, member of the City Council, what brings me a lot of memories. Yes, I always believe that beautification should be one of our goals as City Council members. There's no need to move out of the city. If we can work together as a community, we can make things possible. I've been in that block since 1974. There was no need to move out. There was need to work together, make the block look nice, beautiful, and we can accomplish a lot by doing that. Hopefully, we will get other blocks, other captain, other people trying to do the same thing. Because if we can do that, one of the things that I noticed that in my block, in our block, you don't see a lot of crime. You don't see people hanging out. You don't see, because we work together. We have a lot of things that we do, and instead of seeing things and don't do nothing, we decided to make the block look beautiful and be happy and be proud of being in that block. So, Maria, muchas gracias, de verdad, muchas gracias. Thank you. And that's our granddaughter. That's my wife. And I just wanted to say that in that block, we have a little bit of every community represented. And we are working together. And that's the main thing. We should be working together for a better future and for a better city. Thank you.
Thank you. That is it, Mr. President.
Councilmember Oliver.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. I just like to give kudos to Mr. Ortega for the outstanding, his leadership and him serving the city of Wilmington for so many years. And also, I ride past that block a lot because I have a friend that lives up around the corner, and that block really looks good. So, congratulations, and that shows you how working as neighbors, what you can do as a team working together. So, kudos to y'all, Maria. That was good. Bye. Thanks.
Thank you, Councilmember Fields.
Yes, thank you, Council President. I want to thank Mr. Ortega and his family and everyone in the neighborhood for doing what they do. He sends a letter every year, and we make sure we support him. And he does not let us not come by to see what he's done. So he will call you once everything is taken care of. He said, I need you to come up here and I need you to see. So it's like that, that kind of commitment that we need in our different communities. And I just really want to say I appreciate you, and I thank you for all these years that I've been in council, for keeping me abreast and holding me accountable for helping you keep your block beautified. And hopefully we can carry it on to some other ones. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Harlee.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. I just want to say that I admire the accomplishments, number one, and more importantly, his remarks as related to how long his family has been living in that particular block, and the inspiration that he shared with us in terms of how we can have a beautiful block, we can have a beautiful neighborhood and a beautiful city. If you listen closely to his remarks in terms of how long he has been here and how he just expressed beautification and how what it took and how and why he decided to stay here. So that was pretty impressive to me, and I always appreciate those that stand up and take that leadership role and to share those successes and how it came about. So congratulations to him, and thank you for your service and for your leadership to the city of Wilmington and also to your neighborhood.
Thank you. I would just like to congratulate you again Mr. Ortega. And I believe that out of the hundreds of accomplishments and rewards that you have accomplished throughout your life, I believe that one of your greatest is the seed that you have sown in your family, and that they are continuing in your line of community service. So congratulations to you and your entire family for everything that you do, and thank you for everything that you do. And as far as other recognitions, there is another resolution of recognition from Councilmember Cabrera. She would like to recognize Marcia Stephenson from the Delaware Center of Horticulture. I would also like to recognize Councilmember DARBY. And as far as sympathy resolutions, from Councilmember Harlee, a sympathy resolution for Alaysia T. Smith. From Councilmember Oliver, sympathy resolutions for Tommy Lee Broomer and Jacqueline Barbara Blake, which will be added to the agenda results. At this time, we have our public comment portion of our meeting. WITN, has anyone signed up virtually? Is there anyone in council chambers that would like to give public comment who has not had a chance to sign up? All right. WITN, we don't have anyone virtually? Okay. All right, seeing as that no one has signed up, we are going to move to legislative business, starting with Councilmember DARBY.
Mr. President, I have an ordinance to present and call for the third and final reading.
Ordinance 24041, Agenda 0465, an ordinance to amend Chapter 4 of the City Code implementing stricter security and safety standards for firearms retail stores.
Mr. President, I move that be known as the enacting clause of the ordinance and call for a yea and nay vote.
Second.
It's been properly moved in second that be known as the enacting clause of the ordinance and called for a yea or nay vote on the question.
Yeah, so this ordinance amends the city's building code in order to require more enhanced safety and security measures for building use in whole and part for the sale of firearms. So this legislation is in partnership with Newcastle County. Newcastle County government reached out to myself and asked if I can mirror legislation that they were doing in Newcastle County. So they had 3 pieces of gun reform legislation for the county, where one, they're trying to reduce gun violence in their neighborhoods, but also access to guns and how many gun stores were in Newcastle County. And what they were afraid of is that if they do that in Newcastle County, that gun stores would then come here to the city of Wilmington and/or are existing. We have maybe 2 or 3 here. That the existing gun stores would then see a spike because of the restrictions in Newcastle County of activity. So this piece of legislation is mirroring Newcastle County. This is like a perfect piece of legislation of how intergovernmental commitment, intergovernmental partnership can work in regards to making sure that we have legislation throughout the state, county, and the city that all lines up and is aligned with each other. So at the committee hearing, we had a representative, I don't know if they're on the line today, but we had a representative from Newcastle County come to answer any questions for city council members in regards to the piece of legislation. So we had a lot of involvement in Newcastle County who came to the committee meeting to be able to speak to this piece of legislation. Thank you.
Councilmember McCoy.
Thank you. I just wanted to add that Councilwoman DARBY did invite someone from Newcastle County, and the woman, I think her name was Charnay, she did give more information, and just want everyone to know that this ordinance is not retroactive, so it's not going to put an undue burden on any gun shop owner who already has a shop, but anyone who's trying to come to Wilmington, they will be required to have all of these things in place.
Thank you. Seeing no hands raised, Councilmember Cabrera.
No, I just want to say this is good. I'm glad because I think that we do need to have, just stricter measures to protect our public. We know that we've had some of the, stores broken into and things of that nature, but moving forward, we definitely need to take greater precautions. So I'm planning to support it.
Thank you. Councilmember Oliver.
I'd like to be added as a co-sponsor. Thank you.
Thank you. Seeing no hands raised, I return to the sponsor. Any final comment?
No final comments.
Thank you. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilman White? Yes. Councilwoman Darby?
Yes.
Councilwoman Oliver?
Yes.
Councilwoman Harlee?
Yes.
Councilwoman Fields?
Yes.
Councilwoman McCoy?
Yes.
Councilman Field?
Yes.
Councilwoman Cabrera?
Yes.
Councilman Mills?
Yes.
Councilman Spadola?
Yes.
Councilwoman Bracy?
Yes.
President Congo?
Yes.
12 yeas and 1 absent.
Declared adopted.
Mr. President, I have an ordinance to present and call for the third and final reading.
Ordinance 24042, Agenda 0466, an ordinance to amend Chapter 36 of the City Code to prohibit firearms, components of firearms, ammunition, or explosives from city buildings and police stations.
Mr. President, I move that be known as the enacting clause of the ordinance and call for a yea and nay vote.
Second.
It's been properly moved in second that be known as the enacting clause of the ordinance and called for a yea or nay vote.
Yeah, so this is this is the second of the third piece of legislation that Newcastle County introduced. And this one is just focused on city buildings or police stations to prohibit possessing firearms, components of firearms and ammunition for the people who are visiting, not for the police officers and other law enforcement or whoever may need to have firearms on them. But this is for the public when they're coming in and to like different city or police stations. So they did this on a county level. So this is just mirroring what the county is doing, intergovernmental connections and partnerships. And we also had the Newcastle County representative come at the committee meeting to talk about this legislation. And all of the 3 pieces of legislation passed on the county. And tonight I only have 2. The third one, I believe, has to go through like a planning committee or something. So I have to work on that one still. But this is the second of the third to match what Newcastle County is doing.
Thank you. Councilmember McCoy.
Thank you. Actually, I've already became a co-sponsor of this, and I was truly surprised that this was not already enacted. So I was glad that Councilwoman Darby actually brought this to our attention.
Thank you. And seeing no other hands raised, return to the sponsor.
No final comments.
Clerk, please call for the roll.
Councilman White? Yes. Councilwoman Darby?
Yes.
Councilwoman Oliver?
Yes.
Councilwoman Harlee?
Yes.
Councilwoman Fields?
Yes.
Councilwoman McCoy?
Yes.
Councilman Field?
Yes.
Councilwoman Cabrera? The floor. Councilman Mills?
Yes.
Councilman Spadola?
Yes.
Councilwoman Bracy?
Yes.
President Congo?
Yes.
11 yeas and 2 absent.
Declared adopted. Councilmember Fields.
Yes, Mr. President, I have a resolution to present.
Resolution 24051, Agenda 0480, whereas pursuant to Section 2363 of the City Code, City
I
Council.
move this resolution be received, recorded, and filed and adopted by a yea and no nay vote.
Second.
It's been properly moved in second the resolution be received, recorded, filed, and adopted by a yea or nay vote on the question.
Yes, Mr. President. This is a resolution. This resolution is being presented by the administration for council's review and approval. This resolution authorizes the Department of Public Works to accept grant funds in the amount of $500,000 from the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation. The grant funds will be used to finance the construction of a nature-based park on the site of the former Rodney Street Reservoir. This is going to be one of the biggest parks here in the city of Wilmington. This is going to be one of the first parks done in over 50 years in the city of Wilmington, and this is right there in the 5th district. I just really appreciate them accepting this, and I hope you all understand the importance of this grant that's needed for that park. This is a park for everyone, not just one-sided. So I really hope that I can get everybody's support. Other than that, I have nothing else, Mr. President.
Okay, thank you. Councilmember McCoy.
Please be added as a co-sponsor.
Yes.
Councilmember Harlee.
Yes, thanks, Mr. President. $500,000, that's big. That's huge. So apparently, whatever we presented, to this organization, the foundation, they definitely thought that it was worthy of them granting us this amount of money. So just looking at this, it's definitely huge, and I would like to be added as a co-sponsor as well.
Thank you. Councilmember Oliver.
Yes, Mr. President. I'd like to echo what Councilman Harlee said. I was looking at the amount. And I'd like to give kudos to Councilwoman Fields for all her hard work on this project. I remember saying they had several meetings, but to receive this substantial amount of money, kudos to you and all the work you did on this project. So I'd like to be added as a co-sponsor. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. And seeing no other hands raised, return to the sponsor for any final comments.
No, I just want to say thank you to everybody that co-sponsored, and that's it. No further comment.
Thank you. Clerk, please call for the roll.
Councilman White? Yes. Councilwoman Darby?
Yes.
Councilwoman Oliver?
Yes.
Councilwoman Harlee?
Yes.
Councilwoman Fields?
Yes.
Councilwoman McCoy?
Yes.
Councilman Field?
Yes.
Councilwoman Cabrera?
Yes.
Councilman Mills?
Yes.
Councilman Spadola?
Yes.
Councilwoman Bracy?
Yes.
President Congo?
Yes.
12 yeas and 1 absent.
Declared adopted. Councilmember McCoy.
Yes, Mr. President, I have a resolution to present.
Resolution 24052, Agenda 0481, whereas City Council enacted City Code Section 232, establishing procedures for the Chief of the Wilmington Police Department to call for the commencement of an academy class if the manpower of the police department falls below 95% of the number of police officers.
I move
set
this
forth.
resolution be received, recorded, and filed and adopted by a yea and nay vote.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second. The resolution be received, recorded, filed, and adopted by a yea or nay vote on the question.
Yes, so this resolution, of course, is being presented by the administration for council review and approval. Our class, or our manpower rather, is below 95%. The last class that we had, we did not, we were unable to have enough academy graduates, so it looks like we had to do another one. This seems to be very quickly. It seemed like we just had a class. So there are definitely some differences here where we've already had those conversations when it comes to residency and things, and then also more when it comes to how that they are trying to attract different people to or recruit different people to the police academy. So I got my fingers crossed for Chief Campos, and I'm hoping that he'll finally be able to get the number he's looking for this time. So,
Thank you. Councilmember Oliver.
I'd like to be added as a co-sponsor. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Fields.
Yes, I'd like to be added as a co-sponsor as well.
Thank you. Councilmember Cabrera.
A co-sponsor as well, please.
Thank you. Seeing no other hands raised, Councilmember McCoy, any final comments?
nothing further.
All right. Please call for the roll.
Councilman White?
Yes.
Councilwoman Darby?
Yes.
Councilwoman Oliver?
Yes.
Councilwoman Harlee?
Yes.
Councilwoman Fields?
Yes.
Councilwoman McCoy?
Yes.
Councilman Field?
Yes.
Councilwoman Cabrera?
Yes.
Councilman Mills?
Yes.
Councilman Spadola?
Yes.
Councilwoman Bracy?
Yes.
President Congo?
Yes.
12 yeas and 1 absent.
Declared adopted.
Okay. Mr. President, I have another resolution to present.
Resolution 24053, Agenda 0482, whereas pursuant to Section 2363 of the City Code, City Council deem it necessary and proper to specify the requirements for review and approval of city-sponsored grant applications and proposals.
I move this resolution be received, recorded, and filed and adopted by a yea and nay vote.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second. The resolution be received, recorded, filed, and adopted by a yea or nay vote on the question.
This resolution is being presented by administration for council review and approval. This resolution authorizes the Wilmington Police Department's grant application to the state of Delaware's Emergency Illegal Drug Enforcement Program in the amount of $33,706.08. The proposed grant funds will be used to support specialized drug investigations through covering overtime costs, and no local matching funds are required.
Councilmember Fields.
Yes, I'd like to be added as a co-sponsor.
Thank you. Councilmember Harlee.
I have a question, and the question is, are these routine grants, one, and then secondly, the reason why I'm asking, because if they're not, then I'm hoping that they have a strategic plan in place as it relates to the funding.
Okay.
Councilmember McCoy, did you want to respond?
I didn't know whether or not I was would be able to respond, but I have to admit that this one is a little. I don't recall seeing this one as frequently as I see other things like the Homeland Security and SLEEF. But we definitely, I know in my area, we've definitely needed to do a little bit more investigative things when it comes to drug enforcement and making certain that we have enough information before anyone's arrested and things. So if this is going to help anything going on in the 6th district, I'm definitely behind it. But I can definitely get more information about this. This is not one that I actually had asked more about.
All right, thank you. Councilmember Harlee, did you have another follow-up?
Oh, yeah, I was just
Okay.
going to say, I think it's definitely a great thing, and we definitely need those funds. I was just curious to know if it was new money or if it was routine. A lot of times when we get routine grants, they already have a strategic plan in place, and it's like, okay, we're just re-upping our coffers, and so I was just curious to know. But of course, it's definitely good, it's great, and I would like to be added as a co-sponsor as well.
Thank you. Councilmember Oliver.
Yes, Mr. President. I'm pretty sure, I am sure this, if you look at 1, 2, 3, 4, like in the 5th whereas clause, this is a regular grant, city's annual budgeting. So I've seen this grant before. So the answer is yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And seeing no other hands raised, sponsor.
I don't have anything else.
Clerk, please call for the roll.
Councilman White,
Yes.
Councilwoman Darby,
Present.
Councilwoman Oliver,
Yes.
Councilwoman Harlee,
Yes.
Councilwoman Fields,
Yes.
Councilwoman McCoy,
Yes.
Councilman Field,
Yes.
Councilwoman Cabrera,
Yes.
Councilman Mills,
Yes.
Councilman Spadola,
Yes.
Councilwoman Bracy,
Yes.
President Congo.
Yes.
11 yeas, 1 present, and 1 absent.
Declared adopted.
Mr. President, I have another resolution to present.
Resolution 24-054, Agenda 0483, whereas pursuant to Section 2363 of the City Code, City Council deem it necessary and proper to specify the requirements for review and
I
approval.
move this resolution be received, recorded, and filed, and adopted by a yea or nay vote.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second the resolution be received, recorded, filed, and adopted by a yea or nay vote on the question.
This resolution is being presented by administration for council review. It authorized Wilmington Police Department's grant application to the State of Delaware Department of Safety and Homeland Security to fund and combat violent crime in the amount of $402,901.40. The proposed grant funds will be used to cover overtime costs as part of overall violent crime reduction efforts. No local matching funds are required. This larger fund is one that I did ask questions about because I wanted to find out whether or not, because I know that they apply for this annually, and I wanted to find out whether or not they were using the whole thing and, I guess the types of thing that they were using it for. And as a matter of fact, my vice chair did have some very specific things that she wanted to make certain that they're aware of in her community so that we know how to use these types of funds when it comes to crime.
And seeing no hands raised, clerk, please call for the roll.
Councilman White,
Yes.
Councilwoman Darby,
Present.
Councilwoman Oliver,
Yes.
Councilwoman Harlee,
Yes.
Councilwoman Fields,
Yes.
Councilwoman McCoy,
Yes.
Councilman Field, Councilwoman Cabrera,
Yes.
Councilman Mills,
Yes.
Councilman Spadola,
Yes.
Councilwoman Bracy,
Yes.
President Congo.
Yes.
11 yeas, 1 present, and 1 absent.
Declared adopted.
Okay. Mr. President, I have another resolution to present.
Resolution 24-055, Agenda 0484, whereas pursuant to Section 2363 of the City Code, City Council deem it necessary and proper to specify the requirements.
I move this resolution be received, recorded, and filed, and adopted by a yea or nay vote.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second. The resolution be received, recorded, filed, and adopted by yea or nay vote on the question.
Okay. All right, Mr. President, so this resolution is being presented by administration. It authorized the Wilmington Police Department grant application to the Delaware State Department of Safety and Homeland Security for the funding of state aid to local law enforcement, which is SALE grant program in the amount of $61,839.12. And this proposed grant funding will be used to cover costs of advanced and specialized training for police officers. No local matching funds are required. So this actually, I just want to give you a little bit more information about this. This $61,000 is something that they do ask for annually as well, so that they can cover any type of training that they need. I actually made suggestions and wanted to find out whether or not council is capable of making suggestions when it comes to training, if we can actually get a list of the types of training that could be possible and that we can make certain that our the department receives. And they said that that is not a problem. So one thing that I've actually suggested was initially was to have the dispatchers trained and making certain that they had more information as they were. Yeah. So from what I just understand, the dispatch is actually being trained now. So just wanted to make everyone aware that we are able to have those conversations and let the police department know what we're seeing and if we feel like training is actually needed in other areas.
All right, thank you. Councilmember Harlee.
Yes, I just want to commend Councilmember McCoy for presenting those questions to WPD in terms of our input and how we can be more involved in some of the discussions, because clearly we all see a number of the same type of activities in our communities, or should I say in some of the communities, but then there are some differences. So just to know that we can now start that conversation and start sharing some input and hopefully make some better progress, that's great news. So thank you, Councilmember McCoy, for presenting that to WPD.
Thank you. And seeing no other hands raised, clerk, please call for the roll.
Councilman White,
Yes.
Councilwoman Darby,
Present.
Councilwoman Oliver, Councilwoman Oliver,
Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
Councilwoman
Yes.
Harlee,
Yes.
Councilwoman Fields,
Did you say, what did he say?
Councilwoman McCoy,
Yes.
Councilman Field,
Who Storm is?
Councilwoman Cabrera,
Yes.
Down Delaware Park?
Mills,
Councilmember Oliver, please mute your mic. WITN, if you can please mute Councilmember Oliver's microphone.
I apologize. Councilman Mills,
Yes.
thank you. Councilman Spadola,
Yes.
Councilwoman Bracy,
Yes.
President Congo.
Yes,
11 yeas, 1 present, and 1 absent.
declared adopted.
Okay. And Mr. President, this is the last resolution I have to present.
Resolution 24056, Agenda 0485, whereas pursuant to Section 2363 of the City Code, City Council deem it necessary and proper to specify the requirements for review and approval.
I move this resolution be received, recorded, and filed, and adopted by yea or nay vote.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second. The resolution be received, recorded, filed, and adopted by yea or nay vote on the question.
This resolution authorizes Wilmington Police Department's grant application. So this is through the Special Law Enforcement Assistance Fund, which is SLEEF. That's one of the ones I know we do every year. And it's the amount of $91,312. This proposed grant funds will be used to purchase it is a trailer to dispose of ammunition and fireworks. Also to cover FARO training for the police department's traffic light and forensic service unit. And I think also motorcycle helmets.
Councilmember Darby.
Yes, thank you. No, I am voting present on the legislations to give, in this specific one, to keep continuing to fund the police department without real conversation happening about reforming our police department. But I know this session is not going to happen. It's less than 90 days. So I look forward to the next session to really talking about police reform, and keep funding them. And there hasn't been any changes in regards to the audit that we asked for and police reform to happen. So I'm going to continue to vote president until we can have those conversations in the next session. Thank you.
Thank you. Seeing no other hands raised, clerk, please call for the roll.
Councilman White,
Yes.
Councilwoman Darby,
Present.
Councilwoman Oliver,
Yes.
Councilwoman Harlee,
Yes.
Councilwoman Fields,
Yes.
Councilwoman McCoy,
Yes.
Councilman Field, Councilwoman Cabrera,
Yes.
Councilman Mills,
Yes.
Councilman Spadola,
Yes.
Councilwoman Bracy,
Yes.
President Congo.
Yes.
11 yeas, 1 present, and 1 absent.
Declared adopted. Councilmember Cabrera.
Yes, Mr. President, I have a resolution to present.
Resolution 24057, Agenda 0479, whereas the City of Wilmington is an entitlement community for purposes of the Community Development Block Grant Program, the Home Investment Partnerships Program, the Emergency Solutions Grant Program, and the Housing Opportunities for Persons with AIDS Program. And whereas the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development regulations require consolidated application process for funds for the CDBG program, the Home Program, the ESG program, and the HOTWA program. And whereas on May 18, 2023, City Council adopted Resolution 23022, which approved the city's annual action plan for city fiscal year 2024, federal fiscal year 2023, and authorized the mayor to submit it to HUD. And whereas on October 19, 2023,
I move this resolution be recorded and filed and adopted by a yea and nay vote.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second. This resolution be received, recorded, filed, and adopted by a yea or nay vote on the question.
Yes, Mr. President, one of the things that this council had voted on was that down payment assistance program for first-time homeowners, and apparently people have been using it, so we did need to add additional funds to it. So that is one of the amendments that is being made. And the other one is the Ministry of Caring with the project that they have going on in the North Market Street. They will need additional fundings now to continue with that program. Villa Maria, which is a public improvement project, and it'll be used for demolition of the site. Villa Maria is going to be one of the few locations that will allow for 2-bedroom apartments. As we know that many of the seniors are aging at home, they need that second bedroom for a caregiver. So this is one of the things that the Ministry of Caring has looked into, and that is basically why the amendments are being filed.
Councilmember McCoy.
Yes, I just would like to note that I will not be able to, I'll be voting present on this because of my ties with one of the organizations.
Okay.
And seeing no other hands raised, clerk, please call for the roll.
Councilman White,
Yes.
Councilwoman Darby,
Yes.
Councilwoman Oliver,
Present.
Councilwoman Harlee,
Yes.
Councilwoman Fields,
Yes.
Councilwoman McCoy,
Present.
Councilman Field,
Yes.
Councilwoman Cabrera,
Yes.
Councilman Mills,
Yes.
Councilman Spadola, Councilman Spadola, or Councilwoman Bracy,
Yes.
President Congo.
Yes.
9 yeas, 2 present, and 2 absent.
Declared adopted.
Mr. President, I have an ordinance to present and call for the first and second reading.
Ordinance 24053, Agenda 0486, an ordinance to amend Chapter 48 of the City Code to permit the cultivation, manufacture, testing, and retail of recreational marijuana within certain commercial, manufacturing, and waterfront zoning districts.
First reading of the ordinance.
An ordinance to amend Chapter 48 of the City Code to permit the cultivation, manufacture, testing, and retail of recreational marijuana within certain commercial, manufacturing, and waterfront zoning districts.
Second reading of the ordinance.
Mr. President, I move that be known as the first and second reading of the ordinance and refer it to the Planning Commission to the Planning Commission for reconsideration and Community Development and Urban Planning Committee.
Second.
It's been properly moved in second that be known as the first and second reading of the ordinance and refer to the Planning Commission and Community Development and Urban Planning Committee. At this time, we will move to petitions and communication.
Excuse me, Mr.
Coun-
President, I'd like to
Councilmember
be
Alba.
added as a co-sponsor on there. Thank you.
I'm sorry, it's too late. Sorry.
I had my hand up. Okay.
All right.
Mr. President, may I be excused?
Yes, you may be excused. Councilmember White,
Nothing at this time, Mr. President.
Councilmember Darby,
Nothing at this moment.
Councilmember Oliver,
Nothing at this moment.
Councilmember Harlee.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. I just want to make an announcement to those that live on the east side that there is definitely meetings going on for the East Side 2035 draft community zones and recommendations. We had a meeting on last night to get feedback from the community in terms of what the community would like to see in that particular community with the funding that's coming over to the east side. We do not want our residents to feel like everyone else is making decisions for the community without their input. So we had a substantial number of residents at the meeting, but it certainly could have been a lot more residents there. And I don't want individuals to feel like after the door closes in terms of feedback that their voices were not heard. So I just want to encourage the residents that live between MLK or the Martin Luther King Boulevard and 16th Street, and also between Walnut and Church. If there are East Side residents that live within those boundaries, we are meeting at Central Baptist Church on 9th and Pine Street. And if they would like more information, they can call 656-6234 and ask for Kathy Denhart. And my second quick announcement is regarding new business alerts. Within the 4th District, we have some new minority business owners that started businesses within the last month down in the Loma District between 2nd and 4th. And one of them is a dog spa. So if you have a dog and you live in that area and you would like, you can bathe your dog or take your dog there to get the service. One, the dog spa, and the second one is Chris White Gallery. Art Gallery is moving from Shipley Street down to Loma, again between 2nd and 4th on Market. And that's it for now. And I just wanted to make sure that these new business owners, and especially minority business owners, that the community know that they are there, the dog spa and the Chris White Art Gallery. That's all I have, Mr. President.
Thank you. Councilmember Fields.
Yes, I have a quote. You define your own life. Don't let other people write your script. Oprah Winfrey. That's it, Mr. President.
Thank you. Councilmember McCoy.
Thank you. I just had just a few things to say. Well, first, I actually like to say thank you. So DelDOT had a public information meeting on Monday and came and spoke to the West Side residents about some of the things that they have basically been promising for some time when it came to lighting and, safety measures of recreation. God bless you. Recreation. Which was the basketball courts, and then also the dog park. That's what all of these things should be. They will be starting with painting this year, but those other things that need to be actually built will probably not happen until spring. So they came out and actually spoke in length about what those things were. So I thank DelDOT for taking care of that. And thank you everyone for their patience. It looks like Broome Street is actually repaid, but they have not put the what is that? Like the little picture for the bike lane. They said they'll be back. They're going to make certain they put that on there. We have 2 meetings that are coming up in the 6th District. We have a meeting on the 15th for the Hedgeville Civic Association, which will be Tuesday the 15th. It will be at MSK Community Center. It normally begins at 6:30. And then we have one the very next day, it seems, on the 16th, which will be at Browntown. And that one will be at, just one moment. This has a different location. That one will be at the local fire hall at 804 Maryland Avenue. That one will begin at 6 p.m. So Browntown's will be Wednesday, October 16th at 6 p.m. at 804 Maryland Avenue. Hedgeville's will be on October 15th at 6:30 p.m. at 1009 Sycamore Street. So I hope that you all come out.
Thank you. Councilmember Field.
Yes, I just want to mention that this Friday is the next art loop, and in particular, the Howard Pyle Studio is opening up their doors again with music and a band from 5 to 8 o'clock. That's on Franklin Street, and I encourage everybody to attend if they like art and good music. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Mills.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. I just wanted to send a special thank you and kudos to Chief Campos and the Wilmington Police Department for all the excellent work they're doing, especially the cold case detectives. The cold case unit closed another case from a murder happened in 2019 in the city in broad day. So I just wanted to say congratulations. Keep up the great work to the cold case unit, Inspector Rizzo and Detective Jones. You're doing excellent work. Thank you for helping bringing closure to so many families here in Wilmington, and your work is appreciated. I know it's a thankless job, and they catch all the flack, but right here it's a good moment for the family. The young man I was mentoring in our community died broad daylight, and just to hear his mother give me a call and say that the case was closed, it meant a lot. So I just wanted to say thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you for the time, Mr. President.
Thank you. Councilmember Spadola. Councilmember Bracy.
Nothing this evening.
You sure? It's homecoming.
Happy homecoming to Delaware State University.
All right. I just want to thank everyone who participated in Black Restaurant Week this week. We still have 2 more days left. So if you want any information on what activities are happening and how you can be a part of the movement, you can go to WILMBRW.com. That's WILMBRW.com. And as Councilmember Bracy just mentioned, this weekend is Delaware State University's homecoming. Just want to wish everybody a safe time down in Dover. Also want to congratulate the Selfie Restaurant who opened up on Tuesday. I think it was right off of 4th and Green Hill Avenue. And again, if you have any questions, if you missed anything, if any of us on council can be of any assistance, please call us at 302-576-2140. Again, our number is 302-576-2140. You're always welcome to join our meetings either virtually or here in council chambers every first and third Thursday at 6:30. If you want to be a part of public comment, just please try to arrive a little bit before that. Also, we do have committee meetings throughout the month that you can also be a part of. And again, for more information on those meetings, please call us at the City Council office, 576-2140. And with that, I will accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second to adjourn. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone.